Soulful shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just some soulful shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. Woo! I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. There's some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones, the thugs in harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
What's going on, people? What is going on? Big up to everybody this early morning. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's had a good night's sleep. We're back with another match reaction. Liverpool versus West Ham in the Carabao Cup third round. As I said in my preview, we don't do second round ties. So I don't know what that's like for those Chelsea and Manchester United fans, but of course, Liverpool needed to play this fixture to get into the next round, and we will talk about that today, man. Guys, as always, man, make sure you are smashing the like button. Make sure you do share and subscribe to the channel. As it says, scroll across the bottom of your screen. We are en route to 2,000 subscribers. Big up M-Tom Mizzy in the building. And guys, if you're watching this on the replay, bro, hit the like button, hit the dislike button, cuss me in the comments. I don't really care, man. All I want is some level of engagement in there. So let's kind of get into it. Obviously, it's the Carabao Cup, and quite a lot of us, we did speak about whether or not Liverpool would rotate the team. We don't. Obviously, Arne Slot's new in that, so we didn't really know. Is he going to rotate the team? Is he going to change it up? Is he going to, do this? Is he going to do that? all of the kind of questions, right? And obviously, everyone's got certain players that they want to play. Certain players who we feel that need to play, certain players who might potentially be in form, etc., etc. So this is obviously the lineup from Arne Slot in his first Carabao Cup game. Obviously, he's got Kelleher in goal. I think there was no questions about that. Back four of Tsimikas, Joe Gomez, who was the captain on the night, Jarrell Kwanzaa and Connor Bradley. In the midfield, he went with Wataru Endo. A few people, I think I had him. I didn't. I did. I think I did have him in my preview. And Curtis Jones. And then his front four, if you want to call it that. He had obviously Chiesa making his first start for Liverpool, Diogo Jota, Cody Gakpo on the left, and Darwin Núñez up front. Now, obviously looking at that, obviously at first I was a bit like, oh right, I didn't think you would go with both Jota and Darwin Núñez, for this kind of game, because then I was thinking, right, what do we do then? For our game at the weekend against Wolves, I think it is. So I thought at least one of them would be, I don't want to say dropped, but just rotated out. But listen, he's gone with a fairly strong lineup, so to speak. So fair enough to him. Obviously, West Ham went with Fabianski in goal, Cresswell, Kilman, Todibo, Kufa at the back, Souček and Edson Alvarez. And their front four was Somerville, Soler, Bowen, and Danny Ings. Yes, Danny Ings returning to Liverpool. Now, in terms of overall look at the game, I feel like, I always say this, man, but it always feels like I could blatantly, if you watch all my match reactions, I feel like they're kind of all similar. And I'm even talking, let's even go back a little bit towards the back end of last season. And to be honest, actually, maybe even the majority, where Liverpool start off games very slow. And I know we're going to use the excuse of, oh yeah, they rotated the team. I don't think that's the excuse, to be honest with you, because we always start like this. We're very slow, in terms of how we actually start games, right? I don't know what it is. I don't understand why, but just for some weird reason, it is always a slow start to games. And I felt like in the first 20 minutes of the game, Liverpool, like we were okay, like we weren't poor or anything like that, but I did feel like, okay, yeah, it looks like it's one of those kind of games, we just still need to kind of get up to speed with everything and, et cetera, which is, I don't want to say fair enough, because again, like I said, I always seem to say that every single time, we're doing these kind of match reactions, but it is what it is. I guess I'll say, that much. It's obviously the stats from the game. Liverpool, in the end, we had 21 shots in the match. They had 12. Their keeper made 6 saves. Ours made 3. Passing, fouls, tackles, all of that kind of stuff. All of the kind of boring stuff. But yeah, like I said, I felt first 20 minutes wasn't really that kind of good. And I think one of the main things also as well that I kind of saw from this lineup was that, and to be honest, I actually felt it in the game, was that there wasn't going to be too much creativity. There's not really anybody on the pitch who I look at and say, that's a creative player. That's someone who can unlock a defense. That's someone, if the game is looking a bit, if for example, West Ham decide to potentially defend in a really, really low block, who can really pick that out? There isn't one player on that pitch who I would say that's the guy, to go and do that, kind of thing. You've got Jones at a push, Jota maybe if he drops in deep and stuff like that, but I never really felt like that was going to be the main thing. And you kind of saw that in the first 20 minutes. If I'm being honest with you, it was just slow, lethargic. I guess you could say because it's quite a lot of new players kind of playing. Maybe they were just kind of, just trying to feel their way in and out. But whatever it might be, I don't really know. But either way, I just felt like it just wasn't really that clicking. But then, of course, we then clicked in, into gear. West Ham obviously score first from a corner. And then obviously we reply, Diogo Jota, he got himself 2 goals. Gakpo obviously later on getting himself 2 goals. Mohamed Salah, the king, obviously coming off the bench. To be honest, I'll be real. Only when he came on, McAllister and stuff like that, that's when I kind of felt the game started to get a bit more livelier in terms of the passing, in terms of the kind of football we were playing. Obviously, McAllister and Salah being, 2 first-team players. So I guess you can kind of expect that. But that's really when I actually felt, okay, yeah, this game's starting to get, a tad bit more interesting. But listen, it is what it is. And ultimately, we were able to get the victory. And now we are into the next round where I believe we will play not Bournemouth, Brighton. Sorry, we're going to play Brighton away. Yeah, Brighton away in cup games. Hey, that's going to be a very interesting game. I'm actually dying to play them in the Premier League. I want to see what that fixture kind of looks like. But listen, we'll get there when we kind of get there. Now, obviously, there's 3 players who, as always, just 3 players that I kind of, I guess, was feeling in the game in terms of their performance level. Let's go to the first one. Cool. So first up, of course, we've got Cody Gakpo, man. Listen, man, a lot of people, big up Red Armchair, saying that, we are now seeing the real Gakpo. Hey, we might be, man. I felt like he was good in the game. I really, really felt like he was, good in this game. I think, was it the second goal? Was it the first or the second goal? It might have been the first goal. I'll see if I got it up here. Let's see if we can play this now. So obviously for the goal that he kind of, would I say, linked up well with Darwin Núñez, I felt like that was a very, very good goal from Liverpool's perspective, if I'm being totally honest with you. Let's get that goal up here. All right, yeah, let's play that. So yeah, like I said, I felt like that was a pretty good goal from Liverpool's kind of perspective in terms of obviously Kwanzaa getting the ball, playing the ball out, to Cody Gakpo. Obviously Gakpo then playing up with, Darwin Núñez then playing a little 1-2, and then obviously Gakpo with the finish. I felt like all in all, that was like a little good sequence of play, if I'm being honest, from Liverpool's perspective. That was like some of the football that we were starting to see, in that kind of second half. It just felt like we were a little bit more fluid, so to speak. As I said, in that first half, it didn't really feel like we were, if I'm being honest, that fluid. Good ball, as I said, out there from Jarell Kwanzaa. And as I said, it's the football between Gakpo and Darwin Núñez that I was kind of impressed with. But yeah, Gakpo, he really is showing himself, man. He really, really is showing himself. He really is showing, as someone who, listen, he doesn't get, a bag of chances, of course, in terms of, not even in game, just in terms of starts. Obviously, we've got Luis Diaz there. He's playing well, in these games at the beginning of the season. You could sit there and say, listen, look, it's a good headache to have. It's a bit of a, well, you could say that, but for me, it's not really a headache. To be honest, I do think that, I guess Gakpo will have games. Of course, there's going to be games where Gakpo is going to start in the Premier League and Diaz is going to be on the bench. There's going to be a time, as we all know, and as I will definitely agree with, both of those 2 players have shown thus far anyway in their time at Liverpool, they can be quite inconsistent with their performances. So they will go games, they will go, quite a few games where they're not scoring, they're not assisting, they're not really performing. Gakpo, as we know, can be a bit of a ghost at times. But we know when we see Gakpo playing, this is the kind of Gakpo that we kind of know. This is the Gakpo that we, especially this season anyway, this is the kind of Gakpo that we know, this guy can, Like, this is the reason why, so many people said, he has to start left wing at the beginning of the season. And I thought, I'll be honest with you, I genuinely believed that he was going to start, at the beginning of the season. I didn't really see it. Not I didn't see a world, but I just thought that maybe, Diaz might just have to touch bench for a little bit because of the way that Arne Slot was kind of talking about him. I mean, it was a really, really good finish, powerful shot, from Cody Gakpo. And I think that's just something that Gakpo genuinely does have, in his locker. Big up Red Armchair here saying filthy pass from Curtis. Cody always good on the left. I wouldn't say always. As I said, he is quite inconsistent with that, if I'm being totally honest. But in terms of this game, yeah, he was definitely good, and he's shown so far this season. Obviously, he's had that start, at AC Milan, played good. I felt in that game, and then of course he's had the start here as well. So maybe he can be like our kind of cup winger, and that will be calm. Because then you could always give your first teamer, always give him a break. Every cup game that comes out, if we keep progressing, and some Champions League games, you can always play Cody Gakpo. And then, okay, Luis Diaz, you can now play, in the Premier League and week in, week out, and, and you can kind of perform. And I think it will allow for both of them to obviously state their claims, of course, because you want to be playing every game. You don't want to be you don't want to be stuck with, okay, I'm only here for these type of games. No, I want to play every single match I can possibly play. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be a case of, yeah, let's play this game or that game. No, the only reason why I'm playing that game is because I played the only reason why I'm only playing these games or I've only played that game is really because I've played too many games prior. So the manager's just giving me a little bit of a rest because maybe I'm only at 70, 80%. So you know what? Let's bring the other guy in. The other guy is competent enough to be able to do that job. And then, of course, we can move forward. And for Roden, this is what happens when you play people in their actual positions. Last year, my man was played anywhere but left wing. Yeah, I hear it. I fully hear it. Yeah, it is a bit of a tricky one with Cody Gakpo last season. Guy was playing centre mid, attacking mid, right wing, left wing, up front, And to be fair, at the beginning of this season, when he was coming off the bench, he was playing like up front and sometimes left wing, and it was kind of a bit wishy-washy. So you didn't really know, where everything was. But again, I guess, listen, look, as we kind of progress through the season, the reality is it's only been, what's it now? This is our, what's that? seventh game, I think, of the season. So obviously there still needs to be a bit of time, I guess, given, because it's as I was saying in our group chat, is that the reality is when you're coming to a new club, remember, like, obviously I know us as fans, we're at a different stage than the manager. I think that's quite evident, and it's been quite evident from the way that people are obviously speaking about certain things, and that's absolutely fine, by the way. Got no problem with that, and it's understandable because obviously where we've been at, where we're at, and etc. All that kind of context. But obviously the manager's at this stage. He's at the first stage. I just come to the football club. I need to have my first 11. Obviously, we only signed in Chiesa anyway, so I'm working with the players that I had last season. Which players obviously can fit. We now know, okay, Gravenberch, he can play that system, no problem, blah, blah, blah. We can kind of move from there. But he still needs to be able to find a way to obviously implement his style, implement his kind of tactics and what he wants the team to actually do, both on and off the ball, but also can't keep chopping and changing. Can't always have, obviously this game, we were lucky enough to see quite, a fair few amount of changes. Endo obviously coming in, Jones coming back in, Chiesa starting, Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota, kind of playing, Gomez at the back there, no Van Dijk, like all of that kind of stuff we were able to do. I guess he can do that in these kind of games, but in a general sense, I don't think he wants to keep chopping and changing like that. I don't feel like he wants to be in that kind of position where it's constant. Yeah, let's play this guy today. And that's one thing I was thinking about was that, are we now all going to start sitting here say next game, okay, Gakpo has to start? Well, Diaz hasn't done anything wrong to not start. So why wouldn't Diaz, potentially start that game? Obviously, manager will get a headache because he's sitting there thinking, I want the team to play well, but God, I don't need you to play excellent, score 2 goals, in the game, because now I've got to sit there and think, well, who plays in the next game, and it's going to be a little bit unfair on players like, Luis Diaz, who have been playing, well for throughout the beginning of the season, and he scored all of these goals and etc. etc. So yes, it's a bit of a conundrum potentially, for that next game. But the reality is, I don't think he wants to keep, let's play this guy today. Oh, because he scored today, he must play tomorrow. Me personally, I've never seen a team ever do that and be successful, ever. I've never seen it. Never seen a team just go from week to week, constant change. You will have this is his kind of starting 11 at best anyway. Or sorry, at worst. Even a Manchester City with the amount of players they can kind of rotate, he will have the players that they will play a fair few amount of games more than everybody else. Other players will have to come in, obviously, every now and again, maybe give other players a little bit of a rest. They have to come off the bench and potentially perform. But you need to have that at least first team, and then everybody else can kind of, follow suit. Amphero then saying, now Diaz versus Gakpo will heavily benefit LFC going ahead. Yeah, potentially, man. Listen, man, if you've got two players who are chomping at the bits to obviously want to play games, it can only help. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a hindrance. Great to have such competition for places. Yeah. Big up YG, man. Hope you're doing well this morning. But yeah, like I said, man, I felt Gakpo was absolutely calm in the game. Diogo Jota. Obviously, big up Ends, man. Big up Savage. Obviously, we spoke about him in a previous show that we did, obviously with Nunes. Should Nunes be given a start? Should Jota, touch bench and stuff like that? I'm gonna say, and I don't know, and this is just me putting myself out there and potentially speaking for everybody. But I'm sure most people are gonna say, if we had a game, Champions League final, as Jerry was saying yesterday in the group chat, Champions League final tomorrow, who would you realistically start? I think Jota is going to be the one that the majority of people are going to say, is going to start. Whatever your feelings on Nunes is, I still feel like Jota is going to be the one. And in this game, he got himself 2 goals. He was able to, link up quite well. I felt anyway with the midfield. More later on, don't get twisted. The first 20 minutes, I still feel it was a little bit shaky, but I feel like later on in the game, he was trying to link up well. He was trying to at least make things happen. Obviously, there's no Salah, there's no Luis Diaz there. There's no McAllister in the midfield. There's no, all of these kind of players. But I felt like he was at least trying to do that, and of course, got himself the 2 goals. If we take a look here, this is obviously the equalizer that he was able to score, which I felt was a pretty good move, from Liverpool's kind of perspective. I felt like it was a pretty good goal. Good little ball out to Cody Gakpo on that left-hand side. And then obviously ball out to Chiesa, and then of course Chiesa, the ball into Diogo Jota, and then of course the Jota finish. I felt like it was a really, really good move overall, if I'm being totally honest with you. But yeah, as I said, I felt like he was generally trying to just make things happen, man. And listen, even the first goal, that header, I know obviously the Chiesa kind of cross shot, whatever you kind of want to call it, was a little bit fugazi, fair enough. But in a general sense, I did feel like it was, a poacher's goal from Diogo Jota. Always with these fucking headers, all the time. He always does these like headers, just into the, what do you call it? Into the goal kind of thing. So yeah, man, big up to Diogo Jota. And listen, he got himself 2 goals. Nunes got 0. I don't think he got he got an assist. Yeah, he got an assist for the Cody Gakpo goal. But yeah, so listen, is that going to be another conundrum for the weekend? I don't think so. I think you just put Diogo Jota, in my opinion, back in goal. Real McCoy saying, I would never start Jota over Nunes, no day, because Jota isn't a starter in the number 9. Listen, that's fair. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I ain't gonna argue with you on that. I disagree. I don't think Nunes is good enough to start, for Liverpool Football Club on a consistent enough basis. But yeah, I hear it. Like I said, I hear it. Red Armchair saying, who said we don't have squad depth? I think most people will say that. I still don't think we have the squad depth, so to speak. Obviously, remains to be seen. I would love to be proved wrong this season. And I think this season, I guess I'll get to see that, whether we really do have that squad depth. I do think we still are lacking in quite a lot of areas, to be honest with you, in terms of squad depth, and not necessarily in the amount of players. We've got enough players. I just don't think it's quality players that. And I say quality, it doesn't have to be first team quality, so to speak, just better quality than what we've currently got in some areas. Not all. In like the attack, for example, they're all kind of the same level, to be honest. The only attacker we've got who's better than the rest is Salah. Every one of the other attackers, I think, are all more or less on the same level. Maybe Nunes at the bottom, if I'm being honest. But again, even then, you could say they're all on the kind of same level. Midfield is where I think, that's where there's a drop-off. Defense, I also think there is a bit of a drop-off in certain areas. Big up Ale in the building. Now, moving on to Curtis Jones. A lot of people talk about Curtis Jones. I myself have spoken about Curtis Jones as well. Interesting player. Very, very interesting. I think everyone's had their thoughts on Curtis Jones, to be honest with you. I think everyone said what they've wanted to say in regards to Jones. But in regards to yesterday's game, overall, I thought he was okay. I thought he was okay. You know what was funny? You know the goal that Diogo Jota second goal, where obviously Curtis has put it through the defender's legs, and then Jota's obviously slotted it away. In the beginning of that move, it's obviously Jones with the ball. That move epitomized Jones in a nutshell, I think. And I think that's one of the reasons why so many people are always getting on to Jones. Obviously, in the end, Liverpool scored the goal. So, of course, there's that one side of things, which is absolutely fine. And I've got no real, necessarily problems with that. At the beginning of that move, if you guys remember correctly, he almost loses the ball twice. Now, listen, he's good enough to be able to potentially get himself out of that, situation. But I was literally sitting there thinking, I was watching the whole game back this morning, I've been up for time. And I was watching the game back and I was thinking, brother, release the fucking ball. Release it. Like, why are you first time? Okay, release it. Doesn't want to release it, holding on to the ball. Can't remember who the second West Ham player who comes in to try to take the ball off of him. Again, release it. Doesn't want to release it. Then he finally releases it at the last moment and he's able to obviously do that. As soon as I saw that move, I said, that is literally Jones in a nutshell. We know that in certain instances, like, for example, last night, he can do that. We know he can do that. But in the actual action in itself, you're like, brother, why are you holding on to the fucking ball for so long, bro? Sorry for swearing so early in the morning, but why are you holding on to the ball for so long? Brother, just release it. There was no need. And before anybody tries to do the whole, yeah, he was, no. There was no need whatsoever. Just release it. But like I said, that's one side of it. The other side is what he actually, ended up doing. And then, of course, getting the assist for the goal. So, like I said, that is the two sides of Curtis Jones. And like I said, I can understand why people, don't really feel Jones, no pun intended, they don't really feel him too tough. Obviously, Ali saying I can see Jones being moved on in the summer. Let's see. But it's too early now, I think, to potentially be predicting that. Obviously, depends. Maybe like I said it before, like an Aston Villa, I think would be a perfect club. For even now under Emery, I think that'll be a really good kind of move for him. But listen, let's kind of let's wait and see. Roman McCoy said Rubbish Jones and Endo needs to go ASAP. They were very, very poor. I don't think Endo was very poor. I wouldn't say that. I thought Endo was actually kind of calm. Nunes, Jones, and Endo got in the future. Liverpool, all three gone in the summer. Hey, let's ease up on them guys. Let's allow them. Because people are gonna start saying, "Oh, gee, you got an agenda, bro." Like, I'm not. First of all, I'm not the one who's saying it. I hear what you're saying, Ale. Wink, wink. In terms of those three players. But it's a long season. It's a very, very long season. And I think we're going to get a better picture, of all of these players, over the coming weeks and months anyway, with obviously the games coming thick and fast. Players are going to have to be rotated out, eventually and stuff like that. So, yeah. Big up Psychedelic in the building. Hope you're doing well this morning. 95% pass accuracy. Is that very well? He's asking the question. Very poor. He's underrated. And this is what I know that this is what I feel that we're going to use that. Of course, 44 passes in the game, only 2 misplaced. So 95%, absolutely great. Key pass, obviously in the game, got himself an assist, of course, in the game. It's like I said, I think Jones is such a confusing one because I almost feel like you have to watch Jones to really be able to rate him. I don't think stats are where I can really look at Jones. Obviously, you can use the stats. I'm not saying you can't, of course. You kind of need them, but you do need to watch Jones to really be able to evaluate the type of player that he actually is. That's the kind of player I think he is anyway, in my personal opinion. That's I've always looked at him for. Yeah, your stats are always nice, but I feel like your stats make it look like you're way better than you actually are at times, not all the time, because there was a period of time where I thought Jones was really, really good, right? And the stats were there to back that up. But there are other times where I think I don't really know. And I know a lot of people, obviously, Szoboszlai and, his positioning, his form and stuff like that. Some people are saying, Szoboszlai might be the one. Maybe he is. At this point, I don't even care. Like, at this point, I don't care. I've just got the mindset this season where I'm just like, whatever the manager's going to do, I'm just going to have to, fuck with that. So if the manager decides to drop Salah for the next 5 games and he plays Chiesa or play whoever, for example, on that side, that's on the manager, bro. Like real talk, it's all on the manager. That's your job. It's you who's going to get sacked or praised. Either way, whether this goes right, whether it goes wrong, it's you that everyone's going to be looking at. It's you, not me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Unfortunately, he's not been here like Klopp's been here, where Klopp was having way too much influence in everything. So now I can look at, both yourself, FSG, ownership, whatever. I can look at everything. Whereas now I'm like, you know what, bro, it's on you now. Play whoever you want to play. I'm good with that. Yes, I'm going to have my preferences. Yes, I'm going to have my players that I want to see play. But if you want to play such and such, that's down on you, bro. Because guess what? If it fucks up, it's on you. But if it goes really, really well, it's on you as well. So this is where he's got to be able to, take that kind of responsibility. Now, I ain't allowing Ish. They are not up to our level. They need to go, and people need to move on from them ASAP. You don't see how West Ham ran through. Yeah, don't, bro. I was just about to get literally onto that. Real McCoy. Simicast was garbage. Yeah, we'll talk about him in a sec. Yeah, and like I said, it's like I said at the beginning of this stream. Like I did feel that West Ham had chances, bro. Do you get what I mean? Like they had chances. They had chances, man. Like this weren't one of those games where we completely nullified them. And I feel like with Liverpool, maybe this is. I think maybe I've just got to get used to it. I'll be honest with you. I think maybe I've just got to get used to. This is just Liverpool in a general sense, in terms of we're always going to make the opposition look like they might potentially be in a game. But the reality is we'll go out there, win 3-0, win 5-1, win this, win that, whatever. Maybe I've just got to kind of start looking at it from that kind of perspective. Because obviously, again, this is where I always say it always comes down to then your preference of how you want to see things, what you like seeing, what you don't like seeing, etc., etc. And sometimes I do think I maybe conflate the two, because obviously the way that Liverpool play, I still think is better than what I've seen, but it's still not good enough for me. That's just my own personal opinion in terms of, as I say, yesterday and in various other games this season, I just feel like, brother, like we still look quite open in certain situations, in certain transitions, in certain situations, defensively. I'm not happy with the way that Liverpool kind of are, and it does worry me. I don't feel I think, again, maybe the Manchester United game. And even then they had a couple, you know what I mean? But let's just say I'll use that game as the only game I probably watched and felt 100%, not even 100. I just felt majority percent really, really calm. Every other game we've seen this season, in my opinion, I've not felt that at all. I've really not felt that. There's been no game where I've sat there and said, this is calm. Like when I watch Manchester City or Arsenal, and I'm like, you're not going to break these guys down. You're not getting through here. I don't get that with Liverpool. I still get it's obviously we're still coming off the back of whatever, but there's still that level of like chaos and stuff. But again, that's just more personal preference more than anything. I'm not saying it's a fact. It's just an opinion that I have and what I want to see. But again, if we're winning games 5-1 and stuff like that, I'll just get over that very, very quickly. Yeah, do you get what I mean? Again, I'm not even going to use the sustainability thing, like I did last season quite a lot, because I don't think we're there yet, just yet. I think it will come a time, don't get twisted. I do think there is going to come a period of time where, depending on how these games continue to go, I will start mentioning that word sustainability. I will start talking about, brother, we're not going to be able to keep this up. I know we're not going to be able to keep this up. Get one injury in a certain position, it's all long. And it's probably not even a position you guys are even thinking. So, yeah, it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things. Hollywood Rot saying, not going to get gassed over a Carabao Cup game. I hear it. That's what I'm going to start calling now, Carabao. G, did you see Slot laughing at reporters for giving two months asking him about transfers when he has all of these good players already? Yeah, of course. But like I said, that's all hindsight. And I think Slot even, referred back to, in terms of the teams that we have played anyway thus far. We've not played any good team. Yeah, we've not played any good team in like top half of the table team yet. Heck, even AC Milan was shit and are shit and have been shit this season, in their own respective league. So yeah, I think maybe he knows, listen, look, the real tests are yet to come, but it's good that you're at least just winning these games. Now, of course, you will be judged then when you start facing the Tottenhams, the Arsenals, the Cities, the Brightons, You know, those kind of teams in and around those kind of play, Aston Villas and stuff like that. You know, when you start facing those kind of teams, and that's about 5 teams I've just reeled off there. So what's that? That's 10 games, you know, for the rest of the season that you still have to try and navigate through. That's when I think people will really start taking respect, you know, for what Slot's doing. Even though I feel he's still doing a good job at this current moment in time, like I say, there's, you know, there's still more to come, and we will see more regardless anyway. Hollywood saying West Ham are dreadful. They're in a relegation scrap under the manager Lopetegui this season. Yep, 100%. They are rubbish. Rubbish. You're getting onto them. Roma Goy, ease up, bro. Ease up, man. Ali, the positive from yesterday is that the forwards are scoring and Gakpo is showing his class now. Yep. I agree. We haven't played anyone good yet. Arguably, when we did versus Forest, we lost. Let's see versus the top 6 to 8 teams. Yep, I agree. He said it in the post-match presser. Sounds delighted with our squad depth. Yeah, I mean, he's forced, if I'm being honest, to like the squad depth anyway, because we ain't signed nobody, and this is the position that he's kind of been left in regardless. So yeah, he's in that position anyway, and he's not going to talk down on the players, you know. And what I like about Slot anyway, from what we've seen, again, I don't know the guy, but from how I've kind of seen it, he does seem like someone who is quite honest with his assessment of things. Even in games where we've won, would I say convincingly, he still talks about like, yeah, but I wasn't really happy with this, or we've got to be better in this. You know, I feel like he's good at that. Whereas I don't feel like most managers are like that. They'll, if you win 3-0, I guess, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm not a manager, but you know, like if you win 3-0, you only talk about the positives. You almost make it seem like, oh yeah, we played excellent the whole 90 minutes, when the reality is we know you didn't. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Real Madrid, City, Arsenal, Brighton, Leverkusen, etc. Yeah, shit. Yeah, all those champions, all of those games. Let's see. Let's see. We have some fans who hope we fail. Yeah, I hear that. I don't think it's like fans hope we fail. Obviously, everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care what content create. You all want to be right. There's not a single person in the world who wants to necessarily be wrong about whatever it is they're saying. You don't want to be like, why would you want to be wrong? That doesn't even make sense. Do you know what I mean? That really doesn't even make sense. You want to be right in whatever it is, in football context anyway. You want to be right about what you're saying. So if you want to be right, it's just one of those kind of things. So it's about trying to mesh the two. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't think it's wanting the team necessarily to fail, but it is about more. It's more about, I just want to be right in what I'm saying, so that people can be like, look, this is what I was saying, yada yada yada, and then, you know, go from there. Slot got a favorable start to the season. That October-November run is when we'll see if he's good or not. Yeah. It's all coming thick and fast soon, man. Slot loves coaching, improving players rather than doing a Chelsea on it. He can't do a Chelsea, so I have to push that one back. He can't do a Chelsea. We are not Chelsea. We don't spend money like Chelsea do, unfortunately. And if I'm being honest, I wish we did do a bit more of what Chelsea do in terms of what they're doing. Not in totality, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I would have loved Caicedo. I wouldn't have minded Madueke, Cole Palmer, Nkunku, all the young players that they've bought, Estavio, you know, all of these guys like Kendry Paez. I'm not going to lie. I very much wish we had signed probably all of those players. I think we'd be a better team for it, if I'm being totally honest with you, because obviously we've got a better structure at this football club than Chelsea actually do. Look at the fact that they've changed managers over this period of time, you know, in terms of, and had to change philosophies. And I think we could have done with all of those players and still been able to, you know, transition into, you know, what we are now. Our midfield squad depth is still rubbish, same as our defense, but not as bad as the midfield. The gaslighters want us to believe that we don't need to improve on them is nonsense. Hey, let them know in the comment sections, man. Listen, I'm going to be checking out people's comment sections over the next couple of days, seeing how much we're going to go too far with praise and too far with negativity. Things could be worse. Imagine being a United fan. Everyone thought we'd be challenging for fourth. I think we started well, apart from the first game. Let's hope they learn from it. Yep. I still think we'll be challenging top Champions League place, to be fair. So, yeah, I don't think anything's really changed. Us amateurs rarely know more than the pros, but man, them love pretending they do. Yeah, I hear that. People seem to know what Slot loves. They're living with him, like, as if they are living with him or something spicy like that. Only Slot knows what he wants. Yeah, I know. I know. I guess, like I said, it's just one of those kind of things. Let's go to the match ratings, man. Let's go to the match ratings. Let's start off with Kahim. A 5-1 win with our second string, and people are crying like we lost. I don't get it. Yeah, I think you know why? It's because it's more about. I think it's just more about context. I think it's just more about that because yeah, I'll just say it's more about context with certain things. I think people just see it as, look, at the end of the day, you know, our team is this good. We expect to win these kind of games anyway? Like if we had lost, it would like, you know what I mean? It would be head loss, of course, but yeah, I think it's just more about context more than anything. You know what? I'm speaking for those people, but let them speak for themselves. Let them speak for themselves. Any big injuries, we are screwed. Not feeling the quality of depth apart from up front. I hear it, man, and you are within your rights to think so. All right, Kahim Kelahari. Yeah, I thought he was good. I thought he was all right. The goal that we conceded, I mean, it was like a catalyst of like errors and miscommunication, if I'm being totally honest with you. Made some saves, obviously, in the game. Made 3 saves in the game. I don't know, like a 6.57 kind of rating for Kelleher. I'm just trying to think. No, he made some good. No, I'll give him 7. I'll give him 7, actually. Yeah, he made some good saves. Made some good saves. Connor Bradley. Thought he was very average. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I kind of thought Bradley was kind of average in the game. Especially that first half, I felt anyway. I didn't really feel both the fullbacks I felt were kind of the same in terms of not really giving anything, you know, going forward, to be honest with you. Yeah, so maybe 5.5. I feel like maybe just above average. Kwanzaa, obviously being dropped for that. Who's this? Being dropped for that. Being dropped for that Ipswich game. Well, I say sorry, being substituted in that Ipswich game. Obviously, it's hard to kind of come back from that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It is going to be, difficult to come back from that. All eyes are going to be on you. Of course, people are going to be talking about you in terms of, are you really the guy? Were we wrong? Kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's going to be all of that kind of stuff. I felt he was calm in the game. Obviously, that good ball out to Gakpo, as I said before, for Gakpo's goal. I felt like he was kind of calm in the game. Although him and Gomez, though, Jesus Christ, man, at times I just felt like, and I don't know if I could blame, well, I could blame one or the other within that, but they lack leadership. And I'm not expecting him to be the leader, to be fair, because he's the younger one, right? But yeah, I just felt like in those two as a partnership, to me, just didn't really work. Like, yeah, I didn't feel like it worked like that. But he himself, I felt like he was kind of calm in the game. I'll give him 6.5. Gomez, yeah, like I said, it's the whole leadership thing with Joe Gomez. I just felt he lacked that, man. Captain of the night, the most experienced player in our team, in regards to being at the club the longest. I don't know, man. Gomez, yeah. I mean, I ain't seen Gomez at centre back for a minute as well, so that was kind of a little bit of a shock to the system. Maybe it was a shock to the system for him, because yeah, I just felt like, Jesus Christ, Gomez, man, you are just not looking comfortable whatsoever. 5. Simicast. Can someone tell me what was Simicast doing? There was what was he doing when he tried to like dive on the floor? Like, someone's gonna need to explain it to me, because I was so baffled. I was like, why didn't you just slide? Like, if you just slid, you would have done what you were trying to do, which is obviously try to get the ball. Like, I honestly did not understand that whatsoever. Yeah. Simicast, I felt, yeah, he's another one. He's like 5, man. wasn't really feeling his performance like that. Endo, obviously, listen, look, there's been a lot of talk about Endo again. He's another one of those players. I felt Endo was calm in the game, man. You know, okay, you see that performance from Endo, in my opinion, he gave the kind of performance that I saw a lot of last season. Was not great, was not rubbish. He was just steady Eddie throughout the game. Just a complete, just steady Eddie. Did what he needed to do when he needed to do it. Didn't do anything fancy or exuberant like that. You're gonna be like, oh my goodness, this Endo guy is mad. Like honestly, I felt he was just a complete steady Eddie. And I'm like, steady Eddies, you get sevens. You know what I mean? Like that's a 7 kind of performance. Curtis Jones. I'm trying to choose my words carefully. Because I don't know what the role is, because I don't really know what the kind of role is for a Jones in this kind of team. So I'm trying to think, okay, what was the kind of, or what did you actually do in the game? Obviously, your passing, of course, as we said, 95% in terms of accuracy. So, of course, you're rarely losing the ball. Obviously, set up the goal as well. I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. Boom, boom. Chiesa. Obviously making his first start for the club. Average, I felt. Yeah, obviously had those like obviously put the nutmeg and stuff like that. Honestly, I thought Chiesa was super average, like real average in the game. Whatever you want to, whatever the excuses as to why you thought he was average, I just felt you were just average. You were actually, I don't think it was as bad as Gomez, so I put him at 5.5 at least. But yeah, I thought he was just average. There was no, he like he looked exciting. Like you thought, oh, he's gonna, and then it was just like, that was kind of it. Obviously, no, actually, no, he got the assist actually as well. You know what? You got the assist. Let's give him a 6. But I definitely expect him to perform. And listen, like I said, use whatever context you want to use, say whatever it is you want to say, do whatever it is you want to do. I don't actually care. I do expect later, like his games are going to get a lot better. A lot better. Yes, like, and this is what I'm saying. Yeah, take time to all of that stuff, but I can only judge on what I saw, and I didn't see anything that was like, oh my goodness, like he didn't need to be there almost. Diogo Jota obviously got himself the 2 goals. Like I said, I thought linked up play really, really well. Was the only one of the attackers I felt, alongside Gakpo actually, to be fair, who was trying things, I felt, in the game. And I felt like the 2 goals were really, really good 2 goals, man. So I'll give him a 9. Cody Gakpo, like I said, obviously got himself also as well 2 goals, just like Jota, linking up play, just really being a threat down that left-hand side. But do I think he was as good as Jota though? I don't think so, I felt like Jota was better. That's a interesting one. I'm just trying to think now. What do you guys think? Who was better? See, Jota, you're saying Jota 9, Cody Gakpo 9. All right, cool. I'll leave that. I'll leave that one. And then Darwin Núñez got himself an assist. I think so. Are they giving him the assist? Let me double check. I think. Yeah, they gave him the assist. Okay, cool. There were moments in the game, where the team could have blatantly played Darwin Núñez in. They blatantly could have, and they could have passed to him, and he would have been in. Outside of that, though, I'll be so honest, bro. Like, we got Jerick and Ish and the rest of the guys. By the way, happy birthday to Roms as well, by the way. Big up, my bro. I feel like outside of that, Núñez was like so non-existent. And the thing is, I wasn't even focused on him anyway, but when I don't even realize that you're still on the pitch, that was the kind of vibe that I kind of caught with, Darwin Núñez. And again, whatever it is you're looking for from him, he, in my opinion, he just didn't provide anything. So, I felt like it was such a weird performance from him. 5.5 for the assist. No, actually, no. Should I? No, I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6. I will give him a 6. Bloody hell, just change it properly, you twat. There we go. Yeah, so there we go. I don't care about the subs. But yeah, the first 11, that was kind of my ratings. Man of the match, I'm going to give it to Diogo Jota. Gakpo was close, by the way. He was very, very close in my thinking. But yeah, I'll give it to Diogo Jota, man. I just feel like the two finishers were so Jota, and they're like, that's the reason why you have him in your team. That's the reason why he's your striker, within your team. Do you get what I mean? Like, he's gonna be the reason why, kind of thing. So yeah, for me, it was Diogo Jota on the day. Let me know, of course, in the comment sections, what do you guys think? Ali saying obviously he's got Jota as man of the match. Yeah. I definitely agree. Definitely agree with that. You're giving him the higher rating because of the assists. Yeah. Hollywood Rock. Yeah, we don't play it. Yeah. It does seem a bit weird with Nunes. But again, like I said, maybe just for right. Obviously, also as well, you guys know me, and I know a lot of you in the chat as well. Big up to yourselves. One thing I will say is, never ever, don't let these other content creators, the big channels, the small channels, whoever it is, don't let these guys not allow you to think what you want to think. That's what I will say. So whether it's positive, negative, indifferent, whatever, do you know what I mean? Don't let these people, you know what I mean, try and change your mind and make you feel a type of way for feeling how you want to feel. Bro, guys, you already know I'll disagree with everyone in the chat. we've done so on numerous occasions, and vice versa. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those kind of things. But say what you want to say, man. Say what you want to say. Move how you want to move, and do you know what I mean? And whatever your reasonings are your reasonings. Just know, and you already know, especially if you're gonna, come on this channel and Enzo's channel or Savage's channel kind of thing. Just know that we are gonna ask you why you think that kind of opinion. So as long as you can back it up with whatever it is, then that's calm. That's always gonna be calm. But I know I've seen in some people's channels and that too many people flip flop and. One minute you said this, and guys, I'm always lurking. You know what I mean? I'm always lurking. I'm always watching what people are saying because I don't like people who flip. It pisses me off when you flip flop because then it almost tells me you as an individual, your character as an individual. I don't really like all of that stuff. So when I see some people, not you, not really anybody actually in this chat, but when I've seen some people on other channels and the way that they speak about said player or team or whatever, one minute you're here, for example, and you said this, but then over there it's like you know what I mean, you're going with what they're saying. Bro, think for yourselves, man. Think whatever the hell you want to think. I don't actually care. Do you get what I mean? Because ultimately that's what makes us all fans. That's why I love doing these shows. That's why I love interacting with you guys, because it's like, all right, well, okay, you said this. All right, why do you say that? Okay, cool, let's talk about it. Let's see where we can, if we can both understand where we're both kind of coming from. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's too many people who, whatever agenda we're all trying to push, because best believe we're all pushing some type of agenda for some type of player, whatever that is, people will just follow. Sometimes, bro, think for yourself. If you don't agree with it, say it. You know what I mean, man? Tofu saying, changing my mind on Anthony. I hear it. Obviously, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. I'm not ready to maybe, like I say, Anthony Gordon on the same kind of level, but he has the advantage over the other two is that he's younger and he's on the same level. So I guess in most people's eyes, it's if he's on the same level as these guys and he's younger, he has more time to get better. Whereas these guys don't have that time, so to speak. But who knows who's going to get better? I don't know who has the higher ceiling. I feel like they're all kind of, the same, right? Certain YouTubers, I know, and it's just annoying. LA, bro. It's so annoying when I see some of these things. That's why some channels I don't even really like going on to certain people's channels at times. I'm just like, bro, I don't understand why 1 minute people are saying this, you just fucking follow. Then next minute you're over here, you want to be saying this, and you're follow. Bro, shut up, man. Shut up, man. I don't want to hear all of that, man. I hate when it's fake, and I cannot stand fake people. It pisses me off. The ride or die fans are the most jarring. Just won't accept the player just isn't that guy. Yeah, those are very, very weird people. Because you can show man evidence upon evidence upon evidence, and man will still tell you, yeah, nah, but this guy is like, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, how much more do you need to see? What else do you want me to show you? And you know what always happens? And this season, I feel like us as fans in general, myself included, we're doing it quite a lot. There's a lot of point scoring going on this season, whether it's Arne Slot versus Klopp, whether it's Gravenberch haters versus the ones who've always had stock in him. Whether it's the guys who rate Szoboszlai or don't rate Szoboszlai. Whether it's the guys who say said we should have sold Salah to the ones who said we should have keep. Like, it's all point scoring this system. This season, it's all point scoring. I've clocked it now. And to be honest, like I said, I understand it. I understand it. New manager, everyone thinks different vibe, blah blah blah, kind of thing. New start, etc. etc. So everyone's kind of point scoring. One good game from Gakpo, for example, or sorry, 2 good games now. But in terms of last night, see, I've always told you Gakpo should be the left winger and he should start over Diaz. But last game, you guys told me that Diaz is the best left winger we've got. How did we change so quickly? Do you know what I mean? The Nunes guys, Nunes scored. This is why Nunes should start. Nunes was playing shit yesterday, and Jota scored 2 goals. So do we change again? Like, I don't even understand at this point. I actually don't even get it. Like, what are we even doing here? What are we even doing? And you know, that is, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But guys, we're gonna wrap it up there. So we said the best points are 3 points. I love that. 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 The best points are 3 points. Yeah. Tofu, I'm definitely gonna steal that one. So I will put you in the copyright. I'll put you in there. G, tell Hollywood Elise to let it go with Nunes. Bro, I've tried. Listen, I speak to ends on a religious basis, bro. Meaning we talk about various different things, but when we talk about football, I tried, man. I've tried. Best believe I've tried with ends. I've blatantly tried with ends and the whole Nunes thing, but he's already on the train and it's boarded and it's left the station time ago. So I feel like he's just in this position now where, well, he can't jump off, because if you jump off, you're dying. So you just got to stay in to see where that last stop is. You blatantly just got to see where that last stop is. Obviously, for his sake, it just better be in, you know what I mean, like in a good place, man. But listen, man, it is what it is. Big up Psychedelic, man. Much love and appreciation. Glad more independent guys like yourself are on YouTube now, because certain channels I used to love look a bit stinky now. Now, this is what I'm saying. This is why I fucks with you guys, man. Sorry for swearing, but this is why I respect you guys massively. Because like I said, there's not anyone in here that I've seen so far in today's conversation that I've seen on other channels and flip-flop with your opinions. And I keep telling you, as YouTubers, I'll let you guys in on a secret. As YouTubers, when we're looking at like comment sections, when we're on other channels, obviously we look at other people's comment sections and stuff like that. When we've clocked that, say, I'll just use you, Hollywood Rock, just as an example. If I clock that Hollywood Rock is in Jamie's channel as an example, right? And I've seen that something that I've said here, you've then flip-flopped and said something completely different in his channel, or then you've gone onto Enzo's channel and said something completely different. Bro, I can see all of that. I can, and I might not even mention it to you. I'm just gonna make a mental note. Okay, so Hollywood Rock is one of them ones. Okay, cool. Ale, bro, he's always chatting shit. Yeah, I'll just make a mental note. It's just always a mental note, and that's what we do here behind the screen. Is we can see it, and we're just making a mental note. So then you might start wondering why man's not calling out your name or reading out your comment or whatever. It's because, bro, because man's not. We don't respect you. It's that real. So that's why I always say, bro, just be honest. Whatever the opinion is, and never let anyone say, well, above your, if they say you're chatting shit, I promise you, if you bring facts, big up realism, Jared always does it. Big up honesty, always does it. In fact, all of you guys kind of do it. Big up Pops in the building as well, by the way. Like, if you can bring your facts and whatever evidence to the table, I promise you, man, people will respect it so much more. So much more, man. It's just one of those kind of things. It's a it's a two-way relationship. It's a two-way relationship. Like, I can't do my streams if no one's here. Well, I can, but there's going to be no one for me to be able to interact with. And on the flip side, you guys are watching, agreeing, disagreeing, whatever the case may be. So it's just one of those kind of things, man. Excuse me. Bear flip-flops, G. I give my opinion, no matter what channel, no matter what audience, amount of stick. A lot of us got bear stick for being clocked out for past 18 months. You just got to keep, And look, now we're here. What if Slot goes to wins the league? Is someone going to come back and apologize to me? No, but I don't even care. You know what I mean? I don't even care about that kind of stuff. But it would just be funny if that was actually to happen, to be fair. Big up Sate in the building, my broski. But yeah, guys, we're going to head on out of here anyway. I've redirected it to Enza stream. It says 7 p.m. Guys, get onto Ends, because he said he was going to do it last night. I blatantly came back from being out all evening. I thought, okay, you know what? Call-in show, you know what I mean? Enzo's on another channel. So he was cheating on you guys on the next channel. I need you guys to go and holler at Ends. You know what I mean? Like this Hollywood stuff is getting to his head, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You know them fake guys. It's ridiculous, man. Big out heads every time. In an ideal world, I love all Liverpool chance to be able to debate on one show. I'll be real. That'll be pretty good. That'll be, you know what, really and truly, but maybe something like Coppish. Big up Cal, big up Drifty, big up Matt. I feel like maybe someone, because they're like a big channel and they're like Mandem in it. So maybe like somewhere like on there, maybe one day, like we all just get on like one show. But I think, to be fair though, I know Jamie might have a show like that this Friday. So make sure you guys lock into that. Head on over there. I think it's Friday. I might be about, I don't know if I've got Little Man or not. Maybe sometimes Monts on Big Six Bants. Well, to be fair, I know he's always got Cow and Jamie on there. But nah, there does need to be this. Let's get as many Liverpool content creators on one stream, like just all on one stream. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So from your Grizz Khans to, you know, people like myself, like, you know, down here in the dirt, and then you got the Hollywood ends who are like way above everybody else. Like, yeah, we need all of that. I'm not even going to read that out. I'm even going to just leave that comment there. So if ends you are watching, that will be the last thing that you see on the stream. But yes, as I said, I have redirected it to his stream. It says 7 p.m. Like I said, get onto him if he does not do that stream on time, please, because I will be there. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Do something, you know, interesting. Go read a book. And yeah, man, I'll catch you guys on the other side. Oh, also as well, before we even go, for those who obviously watch series and stuff, I'm currently watching the Vince McMahon, that whole series, pretty decent. For those who are big wrestling fans, stuff like that. I'm sure Savage, he's a massive wrestling fan and he knows way more about wrestling than I do. So he'll probably have done a video or is doing a video, you know, based around that. So make sure you go to Savage Talks Wrestling as well to check that out. And yeah, I'll catch you guys maybe later on this evening. Peace.